What's going on, everybody? ASAP fam, and welcome to another episode of the G Report, episode 124. Today, our special guest will be Rachel Hill, First Lady of Sports. Um, as she'll join me, we'll talk some NBA playoffs. Also, we'll get into the draft as well. So we have lots to talk about on today. So get your nice beverage and a snack, and we'll get right to it right after this countdown is over. And what's going on, everybody? Joined by my special guest, Rachel Hill. Rachel, how are we feeling today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, Greg?
Doing good. Doing good.
Awesome.
The Chiefs had a great draft, so it's all good over here. It's all good over this way.
I bet.
But we'll get to the draft and all that fun stuff in just a bit. But let's start off with the playoffs. Um, so Cleveland went from dominating the Magic, looking like the Magic don't even deserve to be on the same court as them, to now it is a tie series.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot has changed here in these past couple days. So one, do do you think Cleveland can still win the series? And then secondly, if they so happen to lose Game Five, would that would that then make you think, oh, Cleveland might end up losing this series?
Absolutely. If they were to lose game 5, they're going to lose this series. So without a doubt, obviously, one of the first things is that, Cleveland did look great against Orlando at home, which they have a tendency to do. Everybody plays, better at home. You get a chance to sleep in your own bed. You don't have to travel. You're not tired, all that other good stuff. So they were able to win at home. They didn't crack 100 points. So they held them down defensively, because Orlando didn't crack 100 points either. So they held them down defensively. Then you go on the road, and one of the things that the Cleveland Cavaliers are notorious for, and it's been the past few years, and that is falling apart in the third quarter. And that's pretty much what happened the other night, and that's what happened earlier today. They fell apart. They allowed Orlando to build a big lead, go on a huge run, and that was that. So today you got a chance to see that Orlando is better at home. And, also, too, I hate to blame officiating, but the home team always gets the calls. That's just the way it is in the NBA. Pretty much any sport, you see that the Kansas City Chiefs get a lot of calls, especially when they're at home. So that's just how it goes. But you're able to see a Magic team be comfortable at home and play resounding defense. They got the Cleveland Cavaliers to turn the ball over a lot of times and make stupid mistakes. They didn't give them opportunity to make good shots as well. Open shots. Everything was pretty much contested, and they played stingy defense. So they were able to get the victory. So if Cleveland Cavaliers lose Game 5, it is a wrap because they cannot win in Orlando, I don't think.
Okay.
And with that being said, if they lose this series, which I think is going to 7 games because each team doesn't appear to be able to steal a game on the road just yet, that's when the series truly begins. Whoever steals that road game, it's going to 7 game series. Some people said they thought that the Cavs would sweep the Magic. I definitely, wasn't there at that point. I knew based on that performance that there was going to be some nerves. There was last year, there was going to be some nerves. There's a lot of pressure on these Cleveland Cavaliers because of what's going on with Donovan as well.
Yeah.
So, there's a jumble of nerves, and a lot is riding on this series and this season. But the Cavs kind of played themselves because if they hadn't kind of, well, people saying NBA players don't throw games, but, one of the issues that they had in the last game of the season against the Charlotte Hornets was if they had won that game, they would have been seeded number 3, I think, and they would have had the Indiana Pacers. So, which probably would have been a little bit easier to get through. Looks like the Pacers are going to dispatch the Buccaneer, not the the Bucks, and dispatch them because Giannis is out and Damian Lillard is about to be out, so that series is pretty much over. So the Cavs could have did themselves a solid and not lose that game because for whatever reason, getting into the bracket with Boston is basketball suicide. But that's what they did. So, I don't know if you remember those Choose Your Own Adventure books from back in the day. The Cavs chose their own adventure, and it's not going to be pretty when it all blows up.
Yeah. You want to avoid Boston as long as you can, and they'll have to play them the next round if they get past Magic. So.
I like Kenneth's comment.
Oh yeah, he said you nerve, especially after his Knicks beat you last year. Yeah.
Hey Kenneth, I ain't nervous. I ain't out there playing. That's rich people's problems out there. It is what it is. Like LeBron said, when the Heat lost, everybody got to go back to their normal lives. And I'm like, I was mad, but I felt that. I was like, he right. I'm like, why he picking on us?
Right. But, we want to enjoy them losing, right?
I know, yeah. So I had to go back to my regular life like he dogged me. And that was it. So I ain't nervous. It is what it is. I want the Cavaliers to win the title, but as the way they are currently constructed, I don't think that that's going to happen anytime soon. I mean, and you've seen the Cleveland Cavaliers play excellent basketball.
Yes.
So I don't know, what the problem is. They were the number 2 team. They had a good little rest as the second seed as well too. And they just blew it. But injuries, I mean, you had Donovan get hurt, you had Evan Mobley go down, you had Darius go down, you got Dean Wade go down. The only Cleveland Cavalier that's played in all 82 games is Georges Niang.
That's the only one. Well, I mean, so once so let's say they find a way, get past the Magic, and they find themselves playing Boston. How much of a chance would they have to pull off that upset and beat the Celtics?
That would kind of be like the Cavs versus the Warriors. And what they say is no chance, but there's always a chance. There's always a possibility. Everybody is capable of losing, and we have seen that the past 2 years. We saw the Miami Heat, knock off the Boston Celtics, and they are up right now 2-1 on the Celtics, right? Or is it tied 1-1?
Boston's up 2-1 right now. Yes.
1-1. This is 1-1. Sorry. This is game 3 right here.
This is game 3. That's right.
Yeah. So if Boston can still win on Miami's home court, I think it's over. But if Miami is able to win here, is it there? Miami was able to win in Boston Garden, which is a tough place to play. So right now we got a series because we talked about who can win on somebody's home court, and the Miami Heat has done that. So if anything, the Cavs want to study the Miami Heat tape and see what they can learn from that.
Yes. All right, so I'll be interested in that. That's the East. Let's shift over to the West here quickly.
Some good games over there.
It is. Russ wanted to fight and all of that towards the end of the Dallas game. But let's start with the Lakers first. Once they get swept tonight, or even if they do win tonight, they'll get dispatched in Game 5. So it's
Such a
over.
hater.
Yeah. Jordan is the GOAT. All right. So
We not even
uh,
about to have that argument
yeah, we know about
because
yeah,
that's an endless argument that's never gonna end. So I don't even get into that debate
never.
anymore.
It's never gonna end. Should Braun just go ahead and say, you know what? I've had a heck of a career. Let me just hang it up right now.
I don't think so. I think he still feels that he's capable of winning championships. I just think the Lakers suck outside of him and AD. So if he was put on a team in the right situation, I believe that he would be able to go back to winning titles. You know, but the Lakers, they just have nothing around him. So I don't really think that they can win the game outside him and AD. Who the rest of the people on that lineup?
They don't have nobody.
What's the Asian guy? The Asian black guy.
Uh, uh, uh,
Pokemon.
yeah, him, yeah. I mean, D'Lo.
Hachimura.
Yeah. Hachimura's
Austin
not good.
Reeves.
Austin Reeves he took a step back this playoffs for
Hmm.
sure. D'Lo is not good. Uh, D'Lo had a good game too, but as you saw in game 3, he was like 0 for 8. Uh, couldn't hit the ocean.
That
So
was that was game 2 where they had the final shot
yeah,
and
Braun
they
had the open 3 and miss. Yeah.
but no, that who made that shot? Was that game 1 or game 2? When Brent Burns.
Murray. Yeah,
Yeah.
Murray hit the
Did
game
you?
winner. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, no,
game
that
2.
was an excellent basketball game. Remember when
Yes.
AD got caught up in a celebration?
He fell back. He was like, oh. I'm like, are y'all gonna let him get out the way? He's all on your
That was
side.
hilarious. I was like,
Yes, it
whoops. I was like,
was.
he didn't mean to get caught up in all of that.
Yes. But even in that situation, um, it was crazy watching it because I say it all the time, and when it be playing out, it'd be crazy because I'm like, okay, don't let Braun drive inside. Make him shoot a jump shot. He's gonna miss, and then you're gonna have a chance. So when dude fell down, he had a wide open 3. I said, this gonna be a brick. Bing. And it's like so. And I say that because he just does the game winning shots that he has made in the playoffs has been when he didn't have to think. So the game winner against the Magic, the game winner against the Bulls, the game winner against the Pacers, there was no thinking involved. When it's 3 seconds or less, ain't no time to think. You just catch it and go.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
But the times where Braun has to think on a game winner before he shoots it, those are the ones that he misses. So that's the difference between him and Kobe and Jordan because they could think and still make it. So, but um, so that's the
Him,
West.
him,
Yeah.
Kobe, and Jordan. You throwing Kobe in here now?
Now, I mean,
Rest in
he's
peace.
yeah. Rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe. Yeah, Kobe deserves to be in the top 5. I think. I don't see why he wouldn't be. I
Top
have Bron.
5, not top 2.
Yeah, top 5. Yeah, Kobe's top 5 definitely. Just like I
Jordan and
went.
LeBron is top 2. Then you can throw Kobe in 3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could do it that way. You could do it that way. Um, some people might have just because of how dominant he was in his prime. Some people might want to put Shaq up there. Uh, so it all depends on who you ask on that. But the Lakers will be done here either tonight or in a few days.
They probably done tonight.
So this Clippers Mavs series, um, Luka and Kyrie, it just seems like
Can't play together.
they're on a great page right now. And we kind of know how it is with the Clippers. Paul George has his playoff misfortunes, and Kawhi can never stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He played 25 minutes last night, but it was kind of like hey, we'll put you in this spot, and you play for a little bit, and then you sit down, and we put you in this spot, you play for a little bit, and you sit down. Um, okay, so do you see any way that the Clippers can beat the Mavs and be able to get out of the first round, or is Luka and Kyrie just way too much?
I
For
think
the
right now Luca and Kyrie are too much. I just think James Harden. He's a master at getting flags, but not flags. He's a master of getting foul calls and things of that nature. But unfortunately, and I was talking about this the other day. When he was in Oklahoma City, he doesn't necessarily step up for the playoffs. And you've seen that. Multiple teams now. You've seen it happen with Brooklyn. You've seen it happen with Philly. He has kind of had his unfortunate too with the playoffs. So Russell Westbrook, he need to be hanging it up right now. They call him Westbrook. Um,
That's great. Yeah.
so Kawhi might want to hang it up too because he can't stay healthy. So that's another thing. But the Clippers was one of the best teams in the West. So I'm kind of surprised that they down, what 0-2,
2-1. It's 2-1 Dallas.
2-1. Yeah. So I'm kind of surprised about that, but not really. I know Ty Lue is doing the best job he can possible, but at the end of the day, there's some players out there that got to get it done, and they're not getting it done right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. And they have to find a way to win game four, because if they don't win game four, that series is done. So, who do you have making the finals?
I know that Oklahoma City is a sexy pick, but I think Denver probably will go back to the finals. And I think Boston will go to the finals too. I'm hoping it's Cleveland, but I definitely think Boston is going to go. It's a train that cannot be stopped. They had the best record in all of the NBA, and, they just have what they need to get it done. So I think Boston. People were saying that Boston and the Nuggets would be playing in the finals, and probably so.
Yeah, yeah. I think it'll be that too. Nuggets, Boston. Uh,
And that's no disrespect to the Oklahoma City Thunder or Minnesota, because didn't all three of them finish with the same records, or one had one more win than the other?
and one have one more. Yeah, I think the Thunder ended up having one more win than
Yeah.
the
So it could be
Nuggets.
interesting too in Minnesota because they about to dispatch who they playing. I
The
forgot.
Suns.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't like Kevin Durant. I have not liked him since he went to the Warriors. So I'm always happy if the team he on lose. Um, even though I used to like the Suns, but then I found out that John McCain didn't want to sign Martin Luther. There was the last state
Oh
in the
yeah,
United States to
yeah,
recognize Martin Luther King as a holiday. So I
right, right.
appreciate that. So I kind of have some bias towards Arizona since then. Um,
Gotcha.
but yeah, I'm not a Kevin Durant fan anymore. I was when he was with the Thunder and stuff
Yeah,
like that. But when he went to Golden State, that was just the end of my fandom.
yeah. A lot of people kind of lost was if they were KD fans once he went to kind of Golden State, they they kind of left that train. Uh, but I feel like with him, I feel like if Kevin Durant wants to win another championship, he needs to
Go
go
join
to a
Boston.
different team. Yeah, or that. Like he has to do something because it's not going to happen in Phoenix. It's not going to happen in Phoenix. Devin Booker, as good as he is, he comes up small in these playoff games.
It ain't
He
enough.
comes up small. So when you're not getting that help, I know Braun fans always be talking about help all the time.
Because Jordan
This
had
is
all stars around him. Like I said,
Mhm.
LeBron had Sasha Pavlik with him. Do you know who that is?
I do now. Now that you said it the second time, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he was there. Yeah,
Okay.
Sasha Pavlich, yeah. He was decent. Yeah, he was okay. He was an okay
Now compare
player.
that to Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, yeah. But that's all. I mean, that's all Michael had really was Scotty.
And
And he
then in
had a
2015, you
horse
saw what
ring.
happened. You saw what happened what Kelly Olynyk did to Kevin Love, and then Kyrie got hurt. So,
Yeah.
maybe we could have had our own dynasty, and we should have beat Golden State that series. But, I was about to catch a plane to Boston and look for Kelly.
Where's
But
Kelly Olynyk?
I decided 5 to 10 wasn't worth it.
It ain't worth.
I wouldn't survive a day in jail.
Oh man. So we both have Nuggets in Boston in the final. I think that'll be a good final as well. So we'll see how that ends up shaking out.
It's just
Um,
crazy because last year, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I know you're
Last
fine.
year, Cleveland matched up really well against Boston and they beat them 3 games to 1, last year. So that was kind of cool. But, and 2 of them was overtime victories, but they still beat Boston in Boston. And, then this year, they went 2 games to 1 because I think they only played Boston 3 times. And, or maybe no, they played 4. So I think Boston went 3 games to 1 against the Cavs. And it took Dean Wade having a Herculean effort to beat Boston. Dean Wade is not available because he's hurt. So, but I don't really think he's that great of a player anyway. But apparently the Cavs do when they play him. So, if not for him, we wouldn't have won that game. So, but he's an injury, to this team. And, I don't know if that's in the back of their minds about who's not out there, but there's something going on.
Yeah. And you do feel that if Cleveland does not make it out the first round, then JB is going to be gone as the coach. He up out of there. Which, and to be fair, that Cleveland would not be wrong in doing that because you have rebuilt the team. The team is good now, and you should be able to beat a Magic team that is young, and this was their first time being in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So
In
you
a
should,
long time.
yeah. So you should be able to win this series. So
Yeah. And last year, that was the Cleveland Cavaliers.
yeah, that was Cleveland last year. Yeah.
But now y'all, people talking about, progress, incremental steps. They lost the series last year. They win the series this year. This is progress. I said, I don't care about no progress. Just win now. I don't care about
Yeah,
that.
win now. That's right.
Yeah, I don't care about no progress.
That's right.
You get out there
Yeah.
and win.
if we graded everything on progress, like the Sixers been doing progress for 10 years.
Since they had
So
Joel Embiid.
yeah, for the past decade, it's been like, oh, it's progress. Like, no.
I don't believe in that. That's a loser's mentality.
Yeah, that's loose. Exactly. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So um, they have a big game too, Sixers against the Knicks to try
Because
to
the
tie
Knicks
that
up three
series.
nothing, right?
2-1. It's 2-1 now.
Okay, 2-1. Okay, good.
It's 2-1. Yeah, yeah. So that'll be a big game. I believe they play later on tonight. So
Ooh,
that'll
the
be
Knicks
a
playing good too.
yeah. They are. They are.
Ooh.
Yeah. They are, and it's good to have the Knicks back and being good, and they were bad for so long, so
Ain't nobody trying to have the Knicks back being good.
because New York had that was a crappy basketball team for a very long time, so now they
Good.
back to being what they once was. Yeah,
Did you know that there's an organist that play that music in there?
yeah, to have a person do it, uh-huh.
Yeah, I didn't know that there were. I thought it was, pumped in music. I didn't know it was a real person in there
Mhm.
doing that.
Yeah, yeah, a real person. They've he's been there, I think, like 30 years or something now
Mm.
doing that. So yeah, yeah. I would love to go to the Garden one of these days, just to go.
It's a dump.
I just
I've never been
yeah.
before, but I heard it's a dump.
There's no yeah. Most of the good places are not what we think they are. Yeah. Lambo. I heard Lambo isn't all that. So yeah.
Well, it's in Green Bay. That's all they got, and the people own that team, so they need to do better.
Need to do better. Come
But
on,
they probably
Wisconsin.
don't have a huge tax base,
Yeah, true. That's true.
you know?
That's true. Um, Before we get to the draw, I want to ask uh, let's get on women's basketball here just for a second. I want to ask this question. So, Caitlin Clark got a $28 million deal with Nike. No, before we get into this, no shade towards Caitlin Clark. She is awesome. She's an awesome shooter. Never says nothing negative about nobody or to nobody and all of that. Now, this $28 million deal with Nike, um, there have been other women's players before Caitlin Clark
Hmm.
that were just as good, did not get that kind of money.
Mm-mm.
In your opinion, is she getting that because of how good she is on the court? Or is that because of her complexion?
She got the complexion for the protection. You know, basketball is a predominantly black sport. So anytime you have
Yeah.
a white person that's super good, we have to remember what America is, and that's almost what 75 80% white. So we have to
Mhm.
remember, when they have star athletes like that, they're going to prop up their athletes because that's them and they're excelling in a black sport. So that's
Right.
mainly what it is. She's from Iowa and stuff like that. So um, they're gonna prop her up because Miss All America, Miss Midwest, um, but
Yeah.
this is the usual.
Okay.
So I'm not hating either. I wish her continued success. Got a chance to see her up close at the Final Four and stuff like that. Didn't get a chance to talk to her, but it's an amazing story. But
It
you
is.
know, um, she got what she got because of what she looked like.
That's what I was thinking too. I just wanted somebody. else to kind of see what I was seeing. But okay.
You know, in your
Uh,
heart is true.
yeah. That's why. That's why I wanted somebody. I wanted to ask somebody because um, even with everything that went on with uh, Angel Reese this past year, as I said uh, when I was with uh, uh, Sensei a couple weeks back, you can't dislike Angel Reese, but you like Larry Bird and Christian Laettner. They all talk smack. Like
Mhm.
there's no there. Larry Bird talks smack. Christian Laettner talks smack. Like like you can't pick and choose which trash talker you like more than the other. And I just felt like all that hate towards her, towards Angel was not fair, and
It became a
it was
racial issue, and we all know that.
yeah, it definitely did.
Black is
It
bad,
definitely
white is good.
Yeah, and it was so crazy just seeing the comments because you would click on the comment section, uh, and you just see all these crazy comments. Oh, she's loud.
Even though
She,
Caitlin Clark talked mess too,
yeah, like
and,
she's
and nobody
ghetto.
ever sees that.
Yeah, oh yeah. I've seen it where Caitlin
No,
Clark
I'm
is
just saying,
going off. Yeah,
they don't see that.
yeah, they don't. No.
And if she does, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
sportsmanship. It's part of the game.
Hmm.
There's
Oh, that's
always an excuse
yeah, yeah.
for
They
something.
looked at that as being uh, passionate of the game, which I was like, okay, well, how is that passion? And then Angel is that's not passion, but okay,
We
that's
already know.
all
Yeah.
right. With all eyes being on the women's game now, do you feel like the Caitlin Clark and Angel, this new group coming in, is that so? Is the WNBA really about to take off now, or is this just a college thing?
That's a great question because I'm like, my concern is that since they're gone now, will people still watch the women's game? That's my concern, and I'm hoping that that is true. I hate UConn, but maybe God. I just hate dynasties. I like,
Yeah,
other teams to win and stuff like that. So, I was just hoping that, maybe they do their thing and bring attention back. Everybody's excited about Paige Buchers, and we know why.
yeah, yeah,
But and then you got Dawn Staley, with South Carolina still. So I'm hoping that the college game will still reach the highs that they have. I'm saying no. um, I don't know if the WNBA will, really take off because I'm like, people will forget about them in 2 months. So
yeah,
it's very interesting, but it is my hope that women's sports continue to be recognized and continue to be watched because these are athletes and they're out here working hard. It just not, if not as harder than men and get paid less. So it's my
yes,
hope that people still watch college, and it's my hope that people watch the WNBA.
yeah. I'll definitely be tuning in. I'll be watching a few more games than I normally would just to see how these new players, you know, translate into the pro game.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'll be watching Angel and Caitlin, and see how they see how they do. Uh, Now let's get to the draft. Before we get to Cleveland, Let's talk about Caleb first. The Bears drafted Caleb Williams #1. As you answer this, Rachel, I will grab my charger. Um, but I will ask you, what do you think the Caleb Williams project will work with the Bears, or is another failure?
I think it'll be a failure. Obviously, I'm partial to Justin Fields because I went to Ohio State. So I'm a little bit partial to him. I think he got played though. So I believe that Caleb Williams, one of the things is they didn't really build around Justin Fields while he was there in Chicago. So they're not going to build around a quarterback. I think that they're still going to have the same. I do not think he will be a success in the NFL, but who knows? But I do not think he will. And I think if anything, Pittsburgh gained, two great quarterbacks. I still think Russell Wilson is great, and I think Justin Fields is great. So if anything, their quarterback room got better. So we should be, the AFC North should be scared because they could be a power broker in there again. But I do not think that the Caleb Williams experiment will work in Chicago. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, we shall. This is my take on it. There's only one. There's only one of two ways this is going to go for Caleb. Either he's really going to be the next Patrick Mahomes and become this dynastic, quarterback and win all these chips and all of that, or he's going to be Ryan Leaf.
Mm. Didn't
The
Ryan
reason
Leaf
why,
drink a lot and was like alcoholic?
yeah, he did, yeah.
Yeah, you thinking that way he'll
Yes,
be?
I mean, I don't think I don't think he'll be, as far as the off the field stuff, I don't think he'll be that. But mentally, I do worry about Caleb's mental because if it starts off bad, like they're 1-4 or 1-5, and it's not going right, he seems like a thin skinned type person. And when you're the quarterback, you can't really be thin skinned.
Hmm.
So if it doesn't go right off the bat, I could see it getting off the rails really quick.
Hmm.
Um, but if he starts off like Pat, all of a sudden, oh, we're 5-0, and oh, we throw for 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns and all of this stuff, then yeah, then the train is going to roll. But we start off bad because Bears fans they're not going to want to wait.
Mm.
They're ready now. So if it starts off slow, it's gonna be like, yeah. And if they don't end up making the playoffs, of course, the Bears will, fire their coach, and they'll, try to find another coach in there. But um, if they don't make the playoffs and it's because of Caleb, then that's a problem for them.
Well,
Um,
they hedged their bet, so it is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah. And I remember, I remember when Ryan Leaf came into the league. He won his first two games, and his career ended against the Chiefs. Ironically, that next game, that third game, they played here. He completed like two passes, and that was the end of his career. So, not wishing that on nobody. Just saying it
I
can.
think he'll be better than two passes.
Yeah. I think I don't think he'll ever have a game like that. But
But how much was drinking and drugs played a part in Ryan Leaf's,
that that
story?
that was definitely part of it. And after that game, they had lost to the Chiefs. In the locker room, that was the famous where he went off. It was like, well, knock it off, and just started going crazy, and so
That
yeah,
was a coach talking.
that definitely played a part. That definitely played a part in there. So Mike, if you're watching, maybe Chiefs Kingdom will see you in the Super Bowl this season coming. We'll see how
Again,
the
I'm
chips.
so over it.
We'll see how the chips.
I'm Chiefs fatigue. Now I rooted for them in that first Super Bowl against San Fran, and they won.
Yeah, they
Now
won
I'm okay because you can't have them continue to cheat to win. And these magical flags come out to help Kansas City win games, and I'm just sick and tired of it. It's nauseating at this point.
All right. Well, Chiefs Kingdom, you heard it here first. It was Rachel Hill that started that. Remember, we wondered last season who started that. Oh, the Chiefs get on the cut. It was Rachel Hill.
Chiefs Kingdom.
So let's talk about the Browns real quick before we sign off. Big season for them. They made the playoffs last year with old man Joe Flacco. Then he realized he was old in the playoff game, and
he became the Cinderella. Became Cinderella again.
Had an awful playoff game, and that was the end of that. So now coming into this season, the AFC North, we all know it's going to be tough. It's the Ravens, it's the Bengals, it's the Browns, Steelers. We'll see what Russell Wilson can do. If they don't make the playoffs this year with Watson as their quarterback, is this the end? Like, is this the last chance for Watson as far as being with the Browns?
That's been 2 or 3 years yet.
This is year, because he was suspended most of the first one. So yeah, this is year 3.
Is it? I think it was year 2.
Yeah, because he played suspended the first year. Yeah,
and then
he played
last
like 4
year,
games.
And then last year he got hurt. So I think we're going into year 3 of this experiment. So yeah, it's tough to tell. They're building a team around him, and even with Joe Flacco and various backup quarterbacks, his team was able to get to the playoffs. So that's just kind of amazing to see. PJ Walker won a couple games. DTR. Obviously he won that Pittsburgh game. He lost the game against the Baltimore, but he found out he was starting like 2 minutes before the game started. So I don't blame that on him. And, Kevin Stefanski didn't put him in the best situation to succeed. But, I believe that if they had Deshaun, they would have had an even better record. But, you have to think about the job that Kevin Stefanski, and I didn't want to give him a lot of credit because I still have an issue with this situational play calling. But, you have to give him credit that somehow that team was able to pull out wins with Joe Flacco, who literally was on his couch, the day before he signed and stuff like that. So, he was able to get the best out of Joe Flacco. Unfortunately, things didn't go in the playoffs like they should have, but I think that, they got a lot of money locked up into them, and I don't think they're doing anything,
Okay.
They want to see what happens.
Okay. So even if they don't make it, they're gonna. You feel like they'll stick with him. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I paid you $230 million. We ride the wheels for a while. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. We shall see. I expect the Browns. I do think they'll be able to make the playoffs.
What you say?
I said I do think that the Browns will make the playoffs.
I do too.
Yeah. they'll make it. They may not win the North, but I still feel like they'll make the playoffs. I think 3 teams out of the North will make it.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's too many good teams, so I think 3 will end up making it.
Again, just like this season,
Yeah, just like
just
this.
like the COVID season.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
pretty
Yeah,
good,
so
pretty good division there, ain't it?
it is. The North is
Hmm.
good. The North is good.
One of the toughest divisions in all of football.
It is. It is. It's physical. It's definitely physical there. Um, but yeah, I see Cleveland doing
Me
well.
too. Thank you.
As far as we do see them, this Chiefs Kingdom, we do see them this year at Cleveland. So get your red and gold, and we'll be up there. Well, Chiefs fans, we always travel well, have our sections and stuff. So that'll be fun. Hopefully, that's not in December. Hopefully, that's an early season.
Why you say that?
Because just for those that are traveling, for those that are going up there, because
The weather?
it gets cold here too. We had the freezer bowl playoff game with the Dolphins, but
I was about to say, what y'all talking about?
yeah, it's
Don't it
just
get
for
cold?
comfort. Yeah, for comfort reasons. I wanted to be September, October. Be a little bit decent out there. As far as the Browns draft, you think the Browns had a good draft?
I think so. So far, they are shoring up, positions of need, and then also too, you got to give the Browns credit for last year too, because the majority of the offensive line went down, and then you got in Dewan Jones from Ohio State, 6'8", almost 400 pounds. And he got in there and did his thing until he got hurt for the rest of the season. So the Browns had so many injuries, and I know everybody gets hurt, but for a team that has historically been so bad for so long, we need people to stay healthy and stuff like that. And it just didn't happen, and this team still made the playoffs. So sometimes the football gods do look upon you, but then they stopped in Houston. So they address some areas of need, so that's definitely a great thing.
Kevin Stefanski did a heck of a job last season, winning with an old quarterback that we all thought was washed, and to be able to still make the playoffs. Great job by him. And I was thinking our paths were going to cross during that playoffs, but it didn't turn out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Still, great job by him. I feel like he is a good coach. Does he have brain freeze sometimes? Like he's Kyle Shanahan at times, yes, but it's but overall, I think he's a pretty good coach.
Mm.
One one last question, Rachel, then we'll get you out of here. So Joe Burrow came on Travis Kelsey's and Jason Kelsey's podcast. I think this was the week before last, and he said that the Bengals are built to beat the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I was like, what? Didn't we beat y'all in the AFC Championship? But okay. So
y'all needed that flag, though. Talking about we
It
push
ain't, it
Patrick.
ain't, it
They
ain't
push
Pat's
Patrick
fault he got
Mahomes.
pushed.
Talking about they push Patrick Mahomes. Man, hold on to that damn flag. And there you have it. The magical
There it
flag.
is. Magical flag. Harrison Butker still had to make the field goal, but yeah. So, but
That flag put him in position to do so.
it did.
Mm-hmm.
But
Nice 15 extra yards.
yeah.
I'd make it too if I was out there.
So I want to get your thoughts on that because I feel like this. Bengals fans always say, "Hey, we're 3-1, 3-1, 3-1," and it's like, okay, but what have y'all gotten out of the 3-1? Like, you got to the Super Bowl, you couldn't hold Cooper Kupp, that's why you lost. So there's nothing game. You beat Patrick Mahomes 3 times. That's the banner that they have up in Paul Brown Stadium. We beat Patrick Mahomes 3 times. That's all they have. And and that's why I don't understand why there's always the talking and the trash talk. It's like you haven't won anything. So just your thoughts quickly on what Joey B had to say.
I kind of agree with him. You know, like I said, that magical flag came out. And the Cincinnati mayor was talking trash, but I think that that's always a good physical matchup for them. And I think that they have the edge slightly at quarterback. But Kansas City's defense, this year was phenomenal.
Yes.
But nobody can stop traffic. I was supposed to say traffic, Kelsey. Nobody can stop Travis Kelsey. He from the town next door to mine, our rival school. But nobody can stop him. So, if you can, score enough points against that defense, you can stop Travis Kelsey, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Defense was awesome last year. I expect it to be just as good. I know we don't have Snead this year, and we'll get into it more on our Chiefs show on Tuesday. But no Snead, but I still feel like the Chiefs are going to have a top 5 defense this year. So.
Please, somebody stop them.
I can't. They can't. Now that we have the Legion of Zoom is back and we have Speed back at our wideouts.
Legion of Zoom, that's so corny.
Legion of Zoom is back.
Who's the Zoom?
Back to scoring 30 plus points a game.
Who the Zoom?
Hollywood, and not just him. Xavier Worthy, who we drafted in the first round. Thank you, Buffalo. You gave us Xavier Worthy and Patrick Mahomes. Love y'all. And
they traded that pick?
Yep, Buffalo traded that pick.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Y'all
need to be thinking John Dorsey. Who ain't there no more.
But honestly, on that one with John Dorsey, it was because before Brad Veach became the GM, he was a scout here. He was the one telling John Dorsey, "Hey, you better get this Patrick Mahomes, dude. He's the best quarterback I've ever seen." And John Dorsey's like, "Oh, really? Never heard of him. What he done?" So a lot of credit, even though John Dorsey gets the credit as he was the GM at the time, but it was Brett Veach that had the eyes on him. And when this whole thing is said and done, however many more Super Bowls there are to come,
hopefully no.
No, it's still gonna be some. uh, that Brad Beach gets the credit as one of, if not the greatest GM of all time.
I won't be able to take it anymore.
He's awesome.
John Dorsey could have not listened.
Yeah, he could have not. He could have said,
Mhm. You know, I saw him at the store in a black neighborhood one time.
"No, you saw John."
And he was at a gas station. And I'm like, what you doing here?
John
I don't
Dorsey.
know if I was covering the Browns or not at the time, but when I did get a chance to meet him, I was like, "Yeah, I saw you at that store," you know. And he lived on the east side of town, so normally the players live on the west side because there's newer houses and room to build. But he lived in
Yes.
the east side of town. There's like older houses there, you know. Obviously, he lived in a place with money. But I saw him at that gas station one day, and I'm just like, "What you doing here?"
Right.
And he was like, "I was at the gas station." I was like, "Okay,
Okay.
cool."
Good gas station. There's some gas station out there by you too.
Yeah. But he listened and changed the fortunes of Chiefs fans.
Yes, he did. That pick changed everything. Yes, and I was one of the ones that night when Patrick Mahomes got drafted. I said, "Who is this guy?" Because I didn't know. You know, I've seen a couple games of his. So I was like, "This is what we going with."
Let me ask you
I
this.
I wanted Watson. Yeah.
Why does his helmet look so big on his head? You
uh,
ever notice that compared to other quarterbacks, his helmet is just huge and he don't look like he got a big head.
I think the hair kind of makes it like that, and
Nah,
then
man.
he
Nah.
has extra padding there too. I think he
Okay.
has that concussion proof one.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's what makes it a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was funny when it kind of broke during that Dolphin playoff game. It kind of cracked in half. I said, well, that shows you they shouldn't be out there playing if his helmet is cracking at below zero temperatures.
Oh, his
But
helmet cracked?
yeah, his helmet cracked during that game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Did they
but
have another big one to replace that one?
yeah, they it took a while. They had they had to call timeout and try to find one, and it was yeah. So yeah, but yeah, we love Pat here.
I bet y'all do.
Definitely, definitely changed the culture for sure. Um, Once you get a guy like that, it just changes the whole culture of your team. And, something that was needed. Something that was needed. Um, and Cleveland, maybe one day Cleveland will have that with the Browns.
Yeah, it might be coming soon. You know, they tread in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah,
So, you know, I really thought Baltimore was going to beat Kansas City.
yeah. Everybody did.
Yeah,
I was
man.
more. I was very confident going into the Bills game, unlike everybody else,
Hmm.
because I knew. I said, look, first off, they're not going to be able to hold Travis Kelsey. They was not, and Josh Allen is going to give you one. He's going to give you one, and
Turnover, you mean?
yeah. So it wasn't. He didn't turn over the ball in that game, but when they were driving late to try to get that touchdown to be able to win, had a wide open Shakur and missed him. So that's the one. He's gonna miss one of them. So I ended up working in our favor, so people can stop saying Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes. That was irritating for a while. We had that debate a lot on our Chiefs show, where people in the media kind of pick other quarterbacks to be over Patrick Mahomes, but they're not over Patrick Mahomes. So the past couple years has been either Josh Allen or they'll go with Burrow. It's like, yeah, let's stop doing that.
Mm.
Patrick's the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, he absolutely is.
He's the best.
I agree.
And once now in this run here, now this one, last year's run was hard, obviously, but this one here, if he's able to beat two super teams in the playoffs, Houston has a super team, you beat them. Baltimore has a super team, you beat them. You have to start saying that he is the GOAT.
Was there a flag that came out in the game against San Francisco?
I favor the 49ers, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody forgets that part. And so the overtime, when San Francisco got the ball first in the overtime, they were going to punt. It was 3rd and long. They didn't get it. They called this ridiculous hold call on Trent McDuffie, which was the worst call of the season. I didn't like that. And that extended the drive, and they got the field goal. But no, though the Chiefs' last drive in that game, there were no flags. They had to get 2 4th downs, 2 4th and 1s to be able to win that. Be able to win the Super Bowl.
They probably held. And it was
Nick Bosa will say they held, but oh well. And we will see them again too this season.
And I don't like him, but I agree with him.
We have to play San.
It's holding on every play.
The Chiefs did get called for the most holding calls during the regular season. I'm glad they fixed that during the playoffs. But Rachel, it's been a great time again. Just tell everybody where they can be able to find you.
Yeah, everybody can find me on WOVU 95.9 FM. That is, I am on Her in the Huddle on Mondays from 6 to 7 p.m. You can download the WOVU app, or you can listen on the go. You can also listen online at WOVU. .org, and you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at 1ST Lady of Sports. And you can friend request me on Facebook at RACHELLHILL.
There it is. And y'all can catch Her in the Huddle on All Sports All Plays Network. That's on Mondays.
Thank you. I forgot to mention it.
Yeah, that's Mondays at I'll be forgetting it. 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes, 6 p.m. I should have said that. Sorry, Eastern time.
6 p.m. Eastern. All right. I'll be catching it sometimes if I'm not working at that time. Yes. So awesome show, Her in the Huddle. So make sure y'all watch that on Mondays. And tune in. The show is especially good when it is the Browns lost that Monday.
Is that right?
Rachel comes in kind of sad, like Browns lost today, and so it's kind of it's not as cheerful, So
you like our misery? That's like LeBron hate.
Yeah.
Liking our misery.
We had a lot during the Chiefs season when we did Red Kingdom on Tuesdays. We had some sad Tuesdays. Sad Tuesdays. And so yeah, it's definitely but Make sure y'all check her out on Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on All Sports All Plays Network. Rachel, it's been awesome having you on today.
Thank you for
Uh,
having me.
yes, always. And we will see each other again whenever the Chiefs play the Browns.
Yeah, you
Uh,
definitely got to come get in the huddle so we can tear
yes.
you up.
There. Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be next month. So in May, the schedule will come out and we'll know the days and
Yeah.
everything. So
We got to have you on before and after.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. I'm confident that the Chiefs be able to pull that one. I'm confident. As long as the
Definitely.
weather ain't as long as the weather ain't crappy on that day.
What do you mean the weather?
As long as it's not
Ain't they football players? Can't they play in anything?
they can play in anything, but you know, I like it when it can be cold, just not, oh, it's a blizzard. And I was like, oh gosh, like Cleveland a blizzard.
I'm
So
just saying.
oh, but I thank you for taking time out of your day to come on and
Of course.
be with me today. We thank y'all for watching as well. Make sure to sub to the G Report YouTube channel and also sub to the All Sports All Plays network YouTube channel as well. Have a great rest of the weekend, and we will catch y'all next time.